day when my adoptive parents from El Salvador said, "Are you ready to go meet your biological parents?" And I said, "What are you talking about? You are my biological parents." And at the time, Powerpuff Girls was my favorite show. Right? So they were like, "Do you want to go meet your biological parents?" As a 7-year-old, I mean, what other answer would you expect? I was like, I just want to watch Powerpuff Girls. But yeah, so on my 7th birthday, that's when I received the news that I was coming here to the United States. I am actually an undocumented student. I am DACA. And all of this is true. So I spent roughly 4 days and 3 nights crossing the Arizona desert. I swam through the Rio Grande as a 7-year-old, so Michael Phelps has nothing on me. And fast forward 5 years later, someone calls me into the office and they say, I knew I was in trouble because I was a good kid. So. And it was Cirque du Loose, and they told me about the program and how I was going to be in this program. And I thought it was like a prank or something because it sounded too good to be true, but it wasn't. So I went through this program from 7th grade to 12th grade, and with that comes a scholarship, right? And so being undocumented, I always knew that my family was something that people could take away from me, but education wasn't, right? Mm-hmm. And so I get like emotional. And, so I knew that education was the most important thing for me. And once I graduated from high school, I realized that I had to attend community college, although I had a 4.7 GPA because I'm undocumented. Okay, so sorry.
Want some water?
No, I'm fully hydrated. And so $5,000 is very helpful, but being a DACA student, you are paying out-of-state tuition, although this is home. And with that, I actually worked at Krispy Kreme. So who here prefers Krispy Kreme over Dunkin' Donuts? Everyone? Please raise your hand. Oh, come on. And so I would work from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then be in class by 11. Because, like I said, education was like the one thing that no one could take away from you. And in 7th grade, if you asked me what college I wanted to go to, I couldn't tell you. Like, I could not tell you the answer because college was in my mind, but it wasn't something that painful. It just sounded like, yeah, I'll get good grades and I'll eventually see what happens. And now, so I graduated from CPCC, and now I am happy to announce that I am on the Fulbright at LA University. So, but none of this would have happened if it wasn't for Cirque du Loose. And just this past weekend, I was actually at a summit, a Golden Door Summit, which is some of the brightest DACA students come together this weekend from all over the country, and we just talk about our stories, and we do workshops and different things like that for a different scholarship that they got. And hearing their stories made me realize that growing up, I was incredibly privileged in the sense that although I was undocumented, I had something that they didn't, and it was Cirque du Loose. And it was these empowering women that, in the Latina household, you usually hear, okay, like after you graduate, like you'll help around the house. And the whole time I was like, no, like that's not what I came to do this for. Like I came from school, right? And going through this program, I wouldn't have been able to do this as a 7th grader, or like if it hadn't been for this program, I wouldn't be here today and talking to you all. Because I remember when I first went through the program, it was just like I just wasn't a people person, and like I didn't know anything about college, and like all these wonderful women were like here for my support, but it was just really hard for me to open up to them. And so going through these different workshops that they would have about confidence and what does image mean to you, and all these wonderful things, and then coming to 10th grade, and then having a college mentor who is Courtney Zuniga. I was actually with her on Sunday because although I graduated from the program, we have that personal bond that you used the term white mother today. That is what she is to me. She's my white mother. Okay? None of this would have happened if it wasn't for Cirque du Loose. So like I said, college was in my mind, but if it wasn't for these people saying, you can do it, si se puede, and you can go to school, and you can prove to everyone that although you're undocumented and although you have all these barriers, that doesn't mean anything because we have this wonderful and beautiful community behind you that supports you and loves you, right? And I met Jin Park like this past weekend. If you guys know who he is, he's a DACA scholar that won the Rhodes Scholarship. And so we met, and he said, it's not about what you know, it's who you know. And then he said, but nowadays it's about who you know because of what you know, right? And with my college mentor, Courtney Zuniga, her husband is actually, used to be the former CTO of Wells Fargo. And that was my inspiration. And hearing what all these wonderful women did, they were in consulting and all these other things, really helped me in the sense that I never had a role model. It was probably Powerpuff Girls. I never had a role model, but being surrounded by these wonderful people who loved me genuinely and would spend their weekends with me, although they had kids and they had other responsibilities, they would be there for me. And we would go horseback riding, which is really fun. They would also have like 7 hours of college workshops. And with that, I learned about Furman University, Davidson College, and that these were schools that, I shouldn't be afraid because there's a $70,000 price tag attached to it, because, I know my worth. And I know my worth because of Circle the Lose. And although I don't have my parents' support in the sense that they've always wanted me to be a nurse or like any like female stereotypical job. If you're a nurse, congrats. That's not what I want to do. And I realized that because by hanging out with these mentors and hanging out with these people that used to work for Wells Fargo and all of those things, I was like talking to them and realized that this is what I want to do. So now I travel with investment banks and I'm in a corporate setting, but I wouldn't have had that confidence to speak to anyone because that just wasn't the way I was raised. It was always like, you sit down, you take your seat at the table, and then you just let everyone else do the talking. And the way that Circle of Luz does it is, we all surrounded by women, and it really is empowering to go through the program and meet other like-minded individuals who want to go to school. And yes, some of them don't make it, but it's also really nice to have, I love speaking to the people, the EHAs that are now going through the program, because you put someone in front of them that, yes, is an immigrant, but is also went through the program and could say, hey, I came out of this program with a college degree, and I came out of this program with soft skills, but also I came out of this program with an entire community that I never knew I had, that if something happens, I can always count on them, no matter what that case may be. So it really is an empowering program. That's like the perfect word to describe it. And if there's anything that I learned through this is none of this wouldn't have happened without you. I wouldn't have happened without you. So thank you.